Good morning, everybody. I take it you DAX traders got that target from yesterday and made a bit of money out of it. You can see the target was the gap here. There's the target up there, and that was at 13,797, and we just dropped short of it. But just the way we trade gaps is never look for the exact close for your take profit. Always look to take profit just below a level, and that's exactly what transpired. So we do have diversions here on the 8 hour, and we've got a crossover the oscillator. So everything's pointing to a pullback. I've still got the levels in from yesterday because these are still two areas that I am interested in. So the first one is 13,575, and then the second one is 13,442. So I'm looking for price to get back into this area for an opportunity to buy and then sort of head up and actually close that gap. So if you just get to the 3 hour, you'll see what I mean. The gap's even a little bit higher than what I've got it. But anyway, nevertheless, that's where the gap is. And the market gap, so that's futures gap, but the actual market gap will be up in this area here at 1457 area. So oscillator is easing off on the 3 hour, which is interesting. It's seeing it on the US markets as well. So I'm anticipating some kind of a move to the upside with non-farm payrolls this afternoon. This is still a level we need to pay attention to. We do have a level in between there, so you might as well just put it in. You can see there's this previous swing high. There's its high. So sorry, wrong level. So you see there's our swing high there, and then this one you've got a double swing high here, which also hasn't really been tested with all of this noise here. So that's definitely something which you need to pay attention to. Moving on to the hour, and you can see what I mean by always make your take profit a little bit lower than the level. Look at that. It's like a couple of points below the actual gap where you've got your short sellers that are anticipating people being there, and then you've got people that are also anticipating the short sellers are there. So everybody's basically just putting entries in just below the actual target so that it gets triggered. So that's kind of, yesterday was a big up and big down day, to be expected. We're waiting for noise. We've got a crossover here, but it's really messy, not really interested in that. So we're looking at levels, 13,575 and 13,500 or 13,507. That's what I'm looking for a move down, and then just want to get that trend line in because it's fairly strong, and you can see it's going to, well, if it happens this morning, it may line up with this level down here, but more than likely this is your structure, 13,575. You're looking for a buy, and then you're looking to target this area again since you've missed it. So you can see that little gap there. So what you're looking for is some kind of a pullback here. You can put a 150 point stop loss, get below the 155 EMA here. I suppose that's not really wise, is it? It's wise. So it's a 220 point odd gain, and you're risking around 160 points. So a little bit better than a 1-to-1 trade. Just finishing off on the 15 minutes, and you can see gap there. Another very valuable lesson here. Look at that gap. You got a breakaway gap here. Where's your next target? There is your target there. And you can see straight away another little gap. So you know price is coming back to this, especially when you're gapping on the 15 minutes. It's logical that price will come and test these levels because it's during the open that happened. Just before the open. So move up, boom, there. Target taken. You could have actually taken a short off this pattern here. You see pin bar off structure, entry just below, stop above, and then you're looking for a move down. And then here's your last bit of support. You can see we were bouncing around this pre-market, and you can see it actually held up price again as well. So for me, looking for this deeper pullback and these gaps to close. So somewhere on this trend line, you can see it's going to be between 13,500 and 13,575. So you're looking for price to do something in between those levels, find some support on the structure for another move to the upside. And what you could do is, if you see something like this, see pin bars on the level, take your entry on the break of that and stop right below, so you can keep a tight stop loss. So what I'm saying is, from there, you see I've got a 50-point stop loss, but I ultimately got a 250-point gain. So just pay attention to that. I don't see anything really happening in the morning session, and then the afternoon session, it's pointless trading a DAX on a Friday afternoon, so you might as well just switch to one of the US indexes, so the Dow or the S&P, because that's where the action will be. But if there is some noise this morning, then you can expect some kind of structure or pullback on structure before it moves up. Lastly, just add this level in as well, because it is a gap. So, and it is the 155 here. So 13,600. So around 13,600. Just pay attention to that area. It may actually hold up price this morning as well. Okay, so those are your buying levels, ladies and gentlemen. I think we are poised for something bigger. And just looking at the weekly, crossovers now happened above the 20. We are not overbought at all. We're nicely poised for this tweezer bottom to continue to the upside. But you do have a lot of overhead resistance in this zone, plus the 155 EMA. So I don't think it's going to be smooth sailing, but definitely will be another attempt at that area, and then maybe some kind of a pullback to find support around this 13,500 area early next week, and then another attempt to break through. Lastly, just pay attention to that weekly trend line as well, because there will be a rejection off there. Ultimately, on the weekly, that's your double. That's the area we need to get above. You can see we looked at support for most of last year. We've rejected it twice this year, but that is 14,784. So that's the area we need to find support above, because that would validate a large double bottom. Okay, anyway guys, that's it for me. Hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you on Monday. Cheers for now.